All right, folks, we have some urgent bombshell breaking news. According to Axios and other outlets, Iran has officially launched missiles at U.S. military bases in the Middle East in retaliation for Donald Trump's unilateral and likely illegal military strikes against them. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, this is bombshell breaking news. Axios reports Iran launches missiles at U.S. military bases in the Middle East. Iran launched multiple missiles against American military bases in the Middle East on Monday in retaliation for the U.S. strike on its nuclear facilities this weekend, according to one Israeli official and one Arab official. 6 missiles were launched towards Qatar, the 2 officials said. 1 missile was launched towards Iraq, according to the Israeli official. What they're saying, quote, the White House and the Department of Defense are aware of and closely monitoring potential threats to Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, a senior White House official told Axios. Why it matters. The scope of the Iranian retaliation, particularly the number of casualties, will determine how Donald Trump responds and whether the U.S. plunges deeper into Israel's war with Iran. Trump was scheduled to meet with his national security team at 1 p.m. Eastern at the White House to discuss the threat. Trump has warned that any retaliation, quote, will be met with force far greater than what was witnessed, end quote, during the U.S. military strike against 3 Iranian nuclear sites over the weekend. Driving the news. Explosions were heard over Qatar's capital city of Doha on Monday night local time, according to Reuters. The Israeli official told Axios that Iran had launched missiles toward a U.S. airbase in Iraq. State of play. On Monday evening local time, Qatar announced it was temporarily closing its airspace due to rising regional tensions. The Qatari Foreign Ministry said the closure is part of a broader set of precautionary measures. Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar is the biggest U.S. military installation in the region. In recent weeks, many of the base's aircraft and personnel have been evacuated. The U.S., UK, and China issued warnings on Monday advising their nationals in Qatar to shelter in place as a precaution. Driving the news. An Iranian military spokesperson said in a video statement on Monday that, quote, heavy consequences are expected for the U.S. strikes on the Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan nuclear sites this weekend. The spokesman said that the U.S. decision to enter the war, quote, expands the scope of legitimate targets for Iran's armed forces. Trump, the gambler, quote, you may have started this war, but we will be the ones to end it, the Iranian military spokesman said. And again, this is breaking news. Very, very stunning. This was not out of the realm of possibility. As we've discussed, obviously, in terms of conventional military forces, Iran is no match for the United States. Hell, it might not even be a match for Israel. And Israel has seemingly dominated the hot war between itself and Iran since it initiated it a week or two ago, right? But given the number of U.S. air bases within striking distance of Iran. I think there are also 700,000 Americans in Israel at this time as well, also in striking distance of Iran. There is the absolute possibility that Iran can deal serious damage and kill not just U.S. soldiers, but U.S. citizens as well, which indeed would be a radical escalation. A radical escalation. Trump escalated, now Iran is escalating, and who knows where this will end. I will also note that during Trump's first term, Iran also attacked U.S. bases. Now, there were soldiers who had brain damage as a consequence, but no fatalities, but they were injured during the strike. This is just a further undermining of Donald Trump's pro-peace, no new wars rhetoric. We are in the middle of a de facto war, no matter how much J.D. Vance and others pretend otherwise. Yes, Congress hasn't declared it, but Congress hasn't officially and formally declared a war since 1945. That doesn't mean anything. For all intents and purposes, we are at war with Iran. The question, of course, goes to how involved we will be, the extent of our retaliation, the time commitment, the time horizon. Nobody knows. But if you look to Iraq and Afghanistan, 2 wars that, the United States has spanned multiple presidencies, multiple administrations, and decades, cost trillions of dollars, thousands upon thousands of U.S. troop lives, thousands upon thousands of civilian casualties as well. This is a total recipe for disaster, and it sure seems, at least initially, that Iran has not been totally cowed and is not seeking to capitulate in the face of Trump's threats. They are lashing out. Could that change in a week? Could this be, a carefully calculated attempt at posturing, and they're really not targeting to kill. That's entirely possible. And as we're speaking, I will refresh because who knows if when those missiles land and what's going to come of it. This is just stunning, stunning stuff. Let's refresh the page and also go to the New York Times if need be. At least 10 missiles were launched towards Qatar and at least 1 missile launched towards Iraq. Videos on social media appeared to show air defense systems activated over Doha. Yeah, let's see. I'm going to look at the New York Times here. Again, this is breaking news. Yeah. Iran launch missiles. Bring this over here. Iran fires missiles at U.S. base in Qatar, Iranian officials say. The target was said to be the Al Udeid Air Base, the largest American military installation. Latest developments. A senior White House official confirmed that the United States was aware of a potential attack. Israeli official also said Iran was poised to strike the base. Let's see. Al Udeid Air Base is heavily fortified by an array of air defenses that have been on high alert in recent days, anticipating an Iranian retaliatory attack. It has 10,000 military and civilian personnel. It's the forward headquarters of U.S. Central Command. We're going to refresh the page one more time. Yeah, that's where we are, folks. Again, as soon as we learn something, I'll let you know. There's no point in just hanging on and waiting, with bated breath. But again, Donald Trump and the Trump administration have said, we're not at war with Iran. We're at war with their nuclear program. A distinction without a difference. They also made the George W. Bush mistake of mission accomplished. We don't have anything to worry about. This sure seems like we have some stuff to worry about. How long we'll have to worry about it remains to be seen. We don't know the extent of the damage. None of these missiles may be successful. It's entirely possible that the U.S. military base, much like the Iron Dome over Israel, will, interdict most, if not all, of these missiles. But again, Iran has successfully struck U.S. bases in the past under Trump. So this is a serious risk that will jeopardize the lives of 10,000, at least 10,000 U.S. military and civilian personnel. We'll see what happens, folks, but this, again, is a major escalation. It's a further undermining of Trump's posture, as the pro-peace, no new wars candidate. It sure seems like we are in the midst of a new war now, and the political consequences for Trump and the Republican Party should be severe, starting with the upcoming midterm elections. Vote all these assholes out for their violation of campaign promises and their warmongering ways. And it looks like there is one update before I let you go. Iran's armed forces issued a statement saying that they have launched a military attack on a U.S. base in Qatar, according to state television and news agencies. So they are officially confirming that they are attacking the United States. Again, we'll keep an eye on this and do an update as soon as possible. But in the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.